What's up, everyone? Penguin here, voice reveal as well. I wanted to go ahead and show you one of my new plate carrier acquisitions. This happens to be the Ars Arma Skanda. You might know this from Tarkov if you've ever played Tarkov. In Tarkov, it's shown as a very powerful plate carrier option with the ability to hold, if I'm not mistaken, 8 magazines. I wanted to go ahead and buy it, the actual thing, because of the necessity to have a plate carrier for my multicam FSB impression. So I want to go ahead and show you the features of the Skanda. First off, we're going to go over the construction. So the construction of the Skanda has a buckle here for taking it on and off. The placard, of course, is just a standard Velcro placard. The cummerbund is a standard Molly cummerbund with a couple of extra Velcro surface on here to have the placard, which has some Velcro surface off of the side of the plate surface. This is supposed to meet this end of the Velcro surface on the cummerbund. There is a Velcro surface underneath the cummerbund, most likely to have the extra vents. I do have vents on both the front and the back, as you can see here. Makes it a little bit more of a tighter fit, but is generally still comfortable. With this design, I think, although you have the these three Velcro surfaces right here on the Molly, will be exposed if you try converting it to fast clips, which you actually can convert it to fast clips if you prefer that, and not have to have the Velcro noise. Of course, just completely destroy your eardrums when you're taking it on and off. The way to the adjustment on the Skanda is a bit of an interesting system. The Skanda sort of employs this weird little black solid tube that begins at the shoulders here, where you can see this the beginning of the black tube, and it velcros on the inside of the adjustment point here. It's a little bit more exposed on this end, but you can see that this little hook has a Velcro thing that's put into the inside of this like, I don't even know what I would call that, just Velcro adjustment strap, I guess. And that then goes into the back of the carrier. Take this vent right here in order to expose it, but take off this bottom portion, and then that exposes this. This is the adjustment system for the Skanda, and I do have my complaints about it, but it is very ingeniously constructed. I have a, if I'm not mistaken, it was a One Tigris. It was some weird One Tigris black, sort of thin, slick, designed plate carrier, where the cummerbund is actually adjusted as the front of the plate carrier would be adjusted, and that when the cummerbund meets the front placard, it's essentially speaking adjusted by Velcro. On that One Tigris, it's done the same on the rear, but the Ars Arma does it in a way that has, as I've said, this black solid tube. So let's go ahead and introduce that to you. This black solid tube right here goes underneath this little hook. Take that out. You can actually go ahead and then lead this outward, right? And then the cummerbund either comes off or you can just adjust it. What I am somewhat fearful of is just whether or not, I have a sort of irrational fear, I guess, of it breaking. Shouldn't happen, but you know how things are. Anything can happen anytime. Let's go ahead and put this back in now. So I have adjusted, I have it put onto the third Molly. And so we're going to go ahead and then have this very small loop right here. Put that in. Then we're going to sort of weave it in and out of the Molly. So that goes into here. And just repeat the process until you're done. and it's adjusted to whatever size you want. This definitely is a little bit more intuitive. This is, a very firm adjustment, which is why I actually like this particular cummerbund adjustment system a little bit better. So here we have it. We have the adjusted plate carrier. I can put this in here. Overall, so far, I think I'm going to be running this completely without anything really on it, or at least minimal things on it. I'm wearing this with a Tasmanian Tiger Mark II thrown over it, and with the Tasmanian Tiger Mark II, it definitely feels very heavy. Puts a lot of stress on your shoulders, but I mean, that's sort of the point about wearing things like this, is that it's supposed to work you out, and it's supposed to, of course, make you stronger. This overall, I think, in terms of a plate carrier option, this is definitely really solid. If you're trying to wear this outside of LARPing, it's still also a very solid option. Getting it in America is actually is nothing difficult, because Ars Arma actually has a warehouse over in China, if I'm not mistaken. It was somewhere in like Guangzhou or whatever. So when it comes to Russian impressions and doing FSB kits and everything like that, and you don't mind sticking to just one particular brand, Ars Arma is actually readily available to be shipped into the United States. Now, the material. Let's go over the material. I talked about the construction, the system, and all this other stuff. The material, I heard from one person who deals a lot with Russian gear, claiming that Ars Arma was the cheapest. It was sort of mediocre. I would have to say that this definitely is not mediocre. There are probably plate carriers that are better than this, very much for sure. Probably from Gearcraft or any other, Wartech. I happen to like the Ars Arma a lot, though, concerning that it is slim, it's light with the I think, if I'm not mistaken, these are EVI like foam plates in here. It's perfect if you want to mount anything onto it. I think actually you can probably get the Skanda to have the same amount of carrying capacity as the Tasmanian Tiger Mark II. I just don't, because I already bought the Tasmanian Tiger. So I definitely would give this a pretty solid review. It's just that if anything, if you want to make the carrier a little bit better, you would probably have to go ahead and replace both the placard and the cummerbund if you don't like the very Velcro centric design. And that would also include having to go for a Mali specific, of course, cummerbund, as I've shown you with the cummerbund adjustment part. But other than that, this is a very solid carrier. Definitely not for just simple airsofting. I think this is definitely there for impressionists. This costed around, I think, like $238. So definitely, if you want to go for something cheaper, I would for an FSB kit, or if you're just doing light LARPing, you can go for things like a JPC, like any kind of JPC that is made by a real company with all the strong stitching and materials and stuff like that. Albeit that's a little bit more semi-accurate. So if you're going for a FSB 2020s kit, Ars Arma is definitely going to be your choice, and is definitely going to be a lifesaver, especially since it's going to save you a lot of money from having to go to other sources to import Russian gear for you at a much higher cost.